let's be honest, you didn't realize I was gone, but I did. And I decided to start this channel at the beginning of the year because it's been a dream of mine for many years. And I said, 2024, let's go live. No more excuses. Just do it. Just push through. Just get it started one step at a time. I got through 2 videos, felt pretty good about it, starting to get some things together. I think I got like 15 views, great. And then life happened, as life does. I mean, real things did happen. Went on an awesome trip back to Japan, and got engaged on that trip, which was epic. So exciting. Came home from that trip to find tons of water damage in my home. Uh, and so the last several months has just been survival of a lot of things, just like trying to live in a construction zone amid some major renovation, trying to plan a wedding, prepare for a marriage. And those are all really valid things, right? Good and bad. But after a while, I realized that I was really leaning on those excuses and hiding behind them as to why I wasn't showing up for this channel and for this dream that I have. And it was really comfortable to say, well, I just got too much going on. It's just really way too easy to say that because it's not false. But then I really thought about my life and like all the things that are happening and all the goals that I have on the horizon and starting a family. And I just realized I don't think there's going to be a perfect season to do this. And I can either choose to start it now in the middle of whatever's going on, or I can wait and probably never start it. And so then I also just sit with like, what are the reasons that I'm not showing up? Like, what are the things that are keeping me held back? And I think the biggest factor is cringe. So, what is cringe? I mean, the internet defines it as an inward feeling of awkwardness or embarrassment. And I have an excellent story to define cringe for you. So when I was in nursing school, I'll go ahead and date myself, but this was like 15 years ago. I was in one of my clinical rotations and I was in the ER, just super eager to like learn everything. And if you've been in med school or nursing school, like it's just overwhelming to be in a hospital system, especially for the very first time. And you just don't want to be in anyone's way. Like you just want to be excited and open to any opportunity. And it can be awkward as hell. So I was in the ER and the nurse said, "Hey, why don't you go with the doctor? He's about to do a pelvic exam with a speculum on this female patient, and you can go and observe and be the standby. So be the third party in the room, just as a witness to make sure nothing awkward or uncomfortable. Um, I wouldn't say it's awkward and uncomfortable. So I would say nothing inappropriate happens. Okay. That's kind of what the standby policy is in pretty much every hospital. So I go in and I'm pulling the curtain for privacy. And the doctor says, "Are you wearing any underwear?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I turn around. And as I'm turning around, I realize, oh, cringe. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to the patient, which makes sense because he's about to do a pelvic exam. I'm over here thinking, wow, that question came out of left field truly. And yeah, like I just could barely get my body to turn around. So that to me demonstrates cringe. Like that is that feeling for me. It's like this, like, ooh, gross. I just want to like disappear into a pile of sand on the floor. And I feel some of that right now, honestly. Like it's very awkward to talk to a camera. Like I love to talk, I love to tell stories, I love to interact with people, but not to a camera. It's very weird and very one-sided. And that's not the view that I have for this channel. My vision is really to have deeply impactful conversations and interviews, but I just know that I can't do that right now until I get the reps in. Because I'll tell you, I just recorded this very similar conversation and realized that the mic that I was using wasn't was dead and I lost all of the audio. So I'm terrified of having that sort of experience with somebody when they're sharing like something so deeply vulnerable. So I know that I need to put myself in the hot seat. I need to push through these feelings so that I can lead others in really powerful conversations and hopefully deliver a really big impact for somebody. So cringe is really fear based, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, there's like an awkward thing, but if you look past awkward, really, that's just like your fear of being seen or judged by other people. Um, so I think my major fears are like one, looking stupid, two, starting something and not finishing it. So like losing integrity with myself, and three, my fear of being judged by people. And that's so, so human. Like, I know that that's not like a unique experience that I'm having over here. But for me, it's not just the strangers on the internet that will comment below and be like, whoa, you suck. Oh my gosh, that was so stupid. Um, it's more or less, probably more, this like, I imagine this like set of bleachers behind the camera, and on it is like people I used to be close friends with, people I used to work with, people I used to date, even some family members. And they're all like sitting there like this. And then they're whispering to each other, like, what is she even doing? Who does she think she is? This is so awkward. Cringe. Can't even watch it. And that may or may not be happening, right? Like some version of that is always kind of happening. That's just our human nature. Like, I wish it didn't bother me. I wish I could sit here and be like, but I don't care. That's false because I do care. I care way too much. It's something I'm working on. But I think the reality is that people will always be judging you. Like, even now, I'm planning a wedding. The first thing people want to ask is, when's the wedding? Once I have the wedding, the day after, or even the day of, they're going to say, when are you having kids? Once I hopefully have one kid, they're going to say, are you going to have more? When are you having more? Like, that's just an example that I see play out all the time. But we do these types of things to each other, right? It's just like a weird social contract that, like, I didn't sign up for. You probably didn't sign up for, but it's just the way it is. It's like talking about the weather. So people are always going to judge you, and they might as well be judging you for you doing something that you're freaking proud of, that you think is super cool, and that you've always wanted to do, right? Like, it's going to be messy. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be embarrassing. And I went through a version of this past year at the gym. Like, I really wanted to strength train. And I mean, like, I wanted to approach the squat rack like a lot of I see these women do, and they're just crushing it super confidently. But anytime I'd walk by it, I would honestly tear up because I was like, I'm so intimidated. I know I'll look stupid. I'm going to hurt myself. People are going to come up and correct me, and I'm going to be so embarrassed. People are going to be talking about me and everything I'm doing wrong. I'm never going to do enough. Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Until eventually I hired a personal trainer, which was like a financial pain point for me. But wow, worth the investment. Am I like ready to compete in a freaking bodybuilding competition? Most definitely not. That wasn't my goal to begin with. But can I walk up to a squat rack confidently, set it up, do my sets, and walk off without feeling like as much of that inner cringe and just fear of people judging me? Yeah, I can. And so it's taken experiences like that that have proved to me I can apply that same principle to this channel. And so here I am. I'm putting my reps in. I'm sitting down, getting to it, like starting from somewhere, getting back on that horse, starting to ride that bike again, whatever it is. Um, and I so, so appreciate you being here to support me in that. So I'm just going to leave you with a final thought. This is not my original quote, so please don't think that I have that much wisdom, but it's kind of a riff on, I think it's a Nelson Mandela quote. But it's just that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it, I'm going to say that again. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. So, hi, welcome back to Live Inspired. I'm your host, Liv. I am so ready to bring you some amazing interviews. I hope that I can just impact one person, I can inspire one person with a story that I'm going to share from my own life, from somebody else's life. If I can just reach one person that needs to hear something that I share, then this will all have been worth it. Welcome back. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. I hope something truly wonderful happens to you today.